Maggie has been there since I started playing football at a young age at the Newton Juvenile Football Academy, and he is still here presently. In 2017, he was one of the people who pushed me and helped me to obtain my soccer scholarship to come to the United States. And he's still here pushing me and looking for opportunities to help me further my career and even to go pro.
Nice.
Yeah. That a little pestilence one day. It's down that I one daughter, Alicia Tip.
Yeah.
You know,
What's the father name you just said?
Wang Albert Tip.
Oh, okay.
Wang from King's Hill.
Right.
No, the thing not special about her.
What's
How
that?
imagine my first memory of her is as a youth in the academy making my son cry.
Wow.
Trust me, my son came to me literally, Daddy, tell her leave me alone. Because she was just terrorizing them youths, them boys. She's the only girl.
Yeah.
And them boys was in trouble, tackling them and taking the
Yeah.
ball and
Hmm.
you check it? And
Yeah.
I said that I come there and check my youth by checking that little girl is a
Mm-hmm.
special little girl, you check it?
Right.
And trust me, and the way she playing and then she keep developing and then she like a real leader in the game. And I
Right.
Yeah.
check like you have certain people you can take them and go to battle anywhere. She's one of them. Like you
Right.
can take her and play one. She can play with the boys and them.
Mm-hmm.
She's too strong to play with the girls and them. So when she
Right.
meet the girls and them, like sorry for them. So that is you know for sure. Anytime you bring that player to battle, you know you're gonna get some solid, So yeah, man, respect to Alicia. Solid
So
player, and I look into, see how she can get to the next level, which is pro. Trying to see how we can
right.
get. We have the she that player from Canada. She retired now. She's involved in the football.
Oh,
Um,
the Dominican chick with
Dominican, yeah,
her.
Libla, Karina Libla.
Yeah, I
She's
can remember.
one of them professional team in the funds. I think funds.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
who you're talking about, but I don't know much about her.
I try to
But
link up, because yeah, you have to reach out to us, our youths.
Yeah.
Do something first, man.
of course.
Let's we need to get one of our youths. They deserve it. They
Right.
pushing.
Mhm.
We just need one person to make it for the rest to
Yes.
get motivated and say, hey, we can
Yes.
do it because she did it, he did it. Let's go.
Yes, exactly.
So let's get it done.
Exactly. We also had another video, and if Kaza have it all set up, we'll get to it right away. Really just you know bigging you up, and they're just staying where they are, in the space they are and what you did for them. So
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
you got that video ready? Oh, I guess we don't have that video.
No.
So,
Okay.
so anyway, but how many players do you have in the states currently, and what sports?
Okay,
Because I
well,
know you have,
from 767 Sports Club,
right.
personally, 767 Sports Club, we have four basketball players. But out of the four, Malik, Kishon, and yeah, we have Malik and Kishon. Malik is in Arkansas Champions College.
Right.
Kishon is in New York in high school. He's 6'11", 16
Wow.
years old. So trust me, that name Kishon Shillingford is one to look out for. You
Hmm.
know, you know what I mean. And then you
Right.
have Jacob Barry. But Jacob Barry now he came with his skills, so we cannot take credit for his skills. He came with the skills. What we provided him with is the showcase, the platform to showcase his talent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, to springboard him to get to the next level.
Right.
So he was a skillful player. Came from the USVI, and moved to Dominica. But his parents are from Dominica. But he
Okay.
already started doing the basketball over there, and then he came to Dominica and he had that skills, and so we brought him into a showcase that we organized
Hmm.
for Malik. That showcase was organized for Malik, but Malik was kind of not ready for it. He was kind of timid and shy. He didn't.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
so Jacob Barry took, he didn't get the nuts. He took the opportunity and he shined. And
Right.
the coach came to get him. When the coach came to
Okay,
get him,
nice.
I say, hey, that coach you're coming for one play, you know. So when the
Yeah.
coach come, I grab the other players and tell them we're gonna do another showcase live for the coach.
Yeah.
And
Right.
when the coach see the rest of them players, the coach hold his head and say, oh God,
Dazzle. Which one? Which
I don't
one?
have enough
Which one
money,
should I take?
I don't have enough money. One I
Yeah.
can afford, but Maggie, hold them, make sure they don't go nowhere. I come and put them just now.
Right.
I tell
Yeah.
him, my brother, I see what I can do, but you know, I cannot hold them. They have to go. I cannot, you know.
Right.
And
Of
Yeah.
course.
the coach even stopped talking to me because Malik ended up getting away. Another coach saw Malik and take Malik go a different direction. So the
Mm.
coach
Mm-hmm.
from New York, he feel threatened. He come
Right.
and he came to get Kishon because he figure
Right.
if he doesn't take Kishon, he's gonna lose. The guy
Mm-hmm.
warned him. I tell him we cannot wait for you. You have
Yeah.
to do it because these other coaches. We need to get this opportunity. Is not gonna wait for the youths and them.
Right.
You know. So that's how we get free them out, and then the football aspect of it. The players were not from our 767, but they were like when the opportunity came, the St. Lucian people, guy Aaron King, the foundation, Free Kick Foundation, he was trying to reach out to the football association, and he wasn't getting any response. To
Right.
invite them to that showcase in St. Lucia, so they can
Mm-hmm.
bring some young talent for that opportunity, and they wasn't responding to
Yeah.
him. So he ended up seeing my Facebook page on the media and reach out to
Hmm.
me and say, sir, I see you have a lot of athletes. Would you like to participate in this showcase? So I tell him, tell me about it. He tell me what it is, US scholarship. I say, true. So then I went and talked to Solka, and then boom. And then we just start to, Solka was already involved in a program where he was developing some players. So we selected, you know, 7 players, which involved Alicia Teat, and there
Right.
was this one player, another female, which is Romelsia Philip, who tremendous athlete, both
Hmm.
athletics and academics. She was like, 10, 9 A's and 9 1s, and high.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that, and we had some boys. We had Giles, Michelle, Andres. We had Jolly. We had another one from Kings Hill, my partner there, Pelicoson, and we had one from Mao. So it was nice, selected. And we went to St. Lucia, and our players just stole the show.
Right.
They just eat up Alicia and then just eat up them people.
Oh,
We lost
we
Maggie.
just
Um,
I'm pretty sure we'll probably get him back in a few. A little
okay.
internet issue, but of course we're talking to Mr. Dustin Maggie Peters, and we're talking sports. We're talking some of the kids that he's helped accomplish their goals, and even some that probably didn't have the goal is accomplishing it now
Mm-hmm.
in basketball and footballs. I mean, pretty interesting story, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important to have someone in your corner like that, Malik, you know, working
Right.
with someone that doesn't necessarily see his skills or his talents, and someone like Maggie to see that he had those abilities and to draw that out from him. That's what a true coach does.
Yep.
Says, I
And
see this in you and I'm going to help you discover this about yourself. Yeah.
I know, and that could never be easy to actually, you know, like you said, a nerd boy probably like I don't care about no sports, nothing, and to actually get him to do it to the point where
Yeah.
that's a pretty amazing story, and even the fact that just the story of him coming from doing music and what makes him want the drive he has, what
Yeah.
makes him move. It's that's incredible because some people have kids and they just
They don't want to work with anyone else's kids because they got their own.
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah. That just
Kids just
shows you the passion behind the man, right? It's not just,
right.
you know, it's not surface, and what you see is what you get. He
Yeah,
is genuine and he's invested in what he's doing. It's
right.
not just for fame or accolades. He does it because he's passionate about it.
Yep. So we got him back, and yeah, we get a little cut off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my laptop plug out on me there, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make some money pulling
Last,
now.
That's okay.
last week your phone ring. This time your laptop let you down.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were just
man.
saying, we were
So
giving you your flowers. We were giving you your accolades and saying, you know what, you're doing this because you're passionate about it. It's not because you're getting something like monetarily. You're getting
yeah,
that
definitely.
satisfaction and gratification from seeing success in these youth. Um,
Yeah.
just seeing those videos. Did you ever think to yourself um, that these youth were really taking in what you were saying because they used certain words that you used with them? Did you ever take it in and really believe that they were soaking that information in?
Well, I never really thought about it, on that level. I just checking, like, I just doing, I just trying to play my part, and what I hoping is is not even really and truly, like, I'm not even thinking about them per se. I'm thinking about the whole Dominican, all those that coming at the back. I want to get them
Yeah,
motivated, so I hoping that they will make the best of the opportunity. So I just want them to take it serious and just, you know, keep pushing because they opening the doors for those at the back of them. If they give up, then it's gonna break those at the back that coming behind, you know.
hmm,
So that's why I keep driving them and giving them the energy that don't give up, keep going. Yeah, we need to make it, because we need it together. So, and then some people would say, "Boy, Maggie boy, you don't make any parents, oh, the youth tell them sign something that if they make it, that you have to get a percentage." I say, nah, it's not about that for me. You check it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, you check in the business, but it's not about that for me. I, not thinking on that level. Like for me, I just want them to make it so that we can make it. We can make it
yes,
together. We have to.
yeah,
If they feel like it and they feel, grateful and they feel like contributing. Fine. If not,
hmm,
it's okay. The fact that they
hmm,
push and they make it, that is inspiration, and that is what we're looking for that inspiration for them other youths to feel like they can make it too.
yeah.
That we're looking for.
It's like the saying they say, "There's no I in team," right? So
Yeah,
you
man. It's all
and
about we
takes
and together
it teamwork makes the dream work. So
for sure.
that makes sense to me. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we do have the other video queued and ready to go, and let's see what Alicia had to say this time.
I would say that Mr. Peters is a sports enthusiast. He has genuine interest for for sports, especially in our country, Dominica. And he would do anything to, see players win and reach their full potential. I remember when I used to play for Harlem United, he would come around and just volunteer to help us, to do small drills, passing the ball, our first touches, pushing us to run and to never give up, basically. And this is just a few things that I could say about Mr. Peters. That's just his personality on a whole, and um, yeah.
Ah, you wiping the tears, Maggie. What's that?
Yeah, but trust me, that is the vibes there. I'm telling you, I like, yeah, money can't pay for them vibes there. You feeling it? Yeah? Them vibes there is real thing. That is,
Yeah.
because I mean, at the end of the day, you can have how much money you want, but if you do have, things that can inspire you and motivate you like that and make you feel good about,
Yeah,
But it's
like,
yeah,
still empty.
yeah,
that's priceless for me.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I put a price on that.
yeah.
Yeah, man, and trust me. And that's why I push so hard. And this is what these kind of vibes that keep me energized and keep me not. Yeah, but pandemic me the other day tell him Maggie doesn't pull out, boy. You just wasting your energy, boy. Them people who listen to you, they won't do. No matter what you say, they don't care and whatever I say. But that is their business, but they're gonna never stop. They're never going to stop hearing me in their head. Either
Right.
they gonna
Yeah,
get fed up with me and do something with me, or do what has to be done. You check it
Yeah.
because
yeah,
I going to see it get done, you
yeah.
know. And that's the vibe you check it. So those kind of vibes there, those that is really what gives me energy to keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Every week
Mm-hmm.
I on these administrators and them to, you know, to fix themselves. You check it because
Mm-hmm.
they're making people's children lives and career waste and go
Mm-hmm.
to you know and everything that's out there in the world is available to us. It's
Yeah,
us to get it and put it there. So we fed up of that thing of man saying, but if I was somewhere else, I'll be a star. No, you can be a star right here.
Of
yeah,
course.
Because whatever
yeah.
you can get out there to be the star, we can get it here for you to be that star.
Right.
Right.
You know me? And that's what we're
Right.
trying to get them to understand. The
Yeah.
funding is there through the Olympic committees and all this kind of thing. There's funding for these things. There's grants. There's all these things
Yeah.
there for the
Yeah.
development of athletes, especially young athletes. It's all there, and we just need to tap into it and trickle it down to meet the athletes and them, give them the right nutrition, give them. So that's where I want to come in with the recent discovery we made it with that thing institution in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
My brethren told me about it a couple of time back, and I had shared it on Facebook, which is the Sports Academy in St. Lucia,
Right.
and shared it on Facebook. And one people spoke about it, and then it just so I come back again and recently and decided, what? Let me I tell him send it for me again, and I share it again. And now the talk is getting louder, and now it gives me energy to decide. You know what? I want to go further. So I do the research. I've been in contact with the people and them that are involved in that academy over there. Man,
Right.
because St. Lucia is my family over there too. My ex-wife is from there. I lived there for a little while.
Okay.
So I work with some guys over there like Coach Panko and Coach Dwight. They're part of the institution, Sports
Okay.
Academy, and it's a well organized. It hosts 100 student athletes, and there's another 100 off campus, and
Mm.
go to school there. They take them from grade 6. Once they pass common entrance, they enter there. So they do in school and sports, and they eating everything. You know everything there. You understand? So
Right.
there is where you can actually develop and produce top-notch athletes, because all you have to do now is school and sports.
Sports.
Mhm.
That's
And
the first.
that's that's literally across the waters, you know.
It's right there, not far to look at. So our minister of sport or people so to see that, and they take a call and just call over there and say, hey, who's
Of
in charge of
course.
that? We need to make a trip over there. We need to talk to those people
Yeah.
Right.
to see how we can make that happen here.
Yeah.
Like,
What? Sorry. No.
no, go ahead, go
Were you
ahead.
gonna say something? What do you need from the schools in Dominica to be on board to see the vision that you can see? What do you need from them?
Well, it's a cooperation, the cooperation of, you know, the mindset of understanding that the sport is important, just as important as the academics, and not, try to make it seem like, the sport is just, a little side thing, So they need to have the same enthusiasm they have in the academics, have it in the sports as well. Make it a point of duty that, at least you can send the classroom, the school to go and support the sport. And the coaches get the coaches get coaches to coach the specific sports, not just a
Mhm.
sports teacher coaching 3 4 different sports, and you only love one, so the others is just doing a thing but it's really football like. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Get
Mhm.
athletics coach, football coach, a basketball coach, get them on the payroll. We need to actually invest in our student athletes, because a
Mhm.
student athletes is very special. An athlete is one, an academic is one, but when you have a student athlete, you have two in one.
Right.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So that is a bonus you get in there. In one human being, you get in two.
Mhm.
So we need to invest in that, and so we can tap into that multi-billion-dollar industry, which is the sports
Yeah.
industry.
I agree. I agree. And there's
Yeah.
research behind it. And if they only knew about that research, how sports motivates students to do better and to
Yes,
Yes.
have a
totally.
drive to do better, if they use it as an incentive rather than a punishment,
Punishment,
then
yeah,
they will be on the right track.
Oh yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of income too.
For sure.
Yeah,
Sport
they need to
tourism,
see
sport
that part.
tourism is huge.
Yeah, it's a business.
It's a
Just
business.
Yeah,
just
man.
like just like music is a business.
Yeah.
It generates a lot of income.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Guess what? Our women's national team is going to play their home game in Guyana.
Hmm.
oh
So we
wow.
have to pay. We have to pay to
Big
go to
Guyana.
Guyana. We have to pay the tickets. We have to
Right.
pay for the hotel accommodation, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if you play the home game, that means the team they have to play, which is Guyana, will come to
Mm-hmm.
Dominica.
Of
They will have
course.
to pay the hotel. They have to eat in Dominica. They have to, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, they have to get
Yes.
transportation. We're
Hmm.
making
Yes.
some money, but we're
Yeah.
making no
Mhm.
money. We're spending money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're like consumers. We just, and
Yeah,
our
that's
players are getting the benefit of home, the support they need from home. Their parents, their people cheering them on.
right.
Yeah.
That is not good, brother. That
No, it's
trust me,
definitely not good
I'm there.
because I mean, like I haven't stayed in Dominica for a long, long time. Like I mean, I visit, right, but I haven't stayed, like a good 6 months like I used to see. But it was so energetic. It was so like you always had something to do, whether it was Friday or Friday into Sunday, and it wasn't just at the Windsor Park. You could go Grand Fond, you could go Grand Bay,
Mhm.
you could go, different places and watch sports. So for me, for now, I just don't understand how do you go from like heights of high to like just not caring. And there's so much money and so much other stuff to gain from these things, you know what I mean?
And that is
Yeah.
and that is the issue. There's a lot of square peg in round holes. They came in them holes because of the money, not
Hmm.
because of they have a vision for the sports.
So they're more
Mm-hmm.
sussing
Dominant,
out the money instead of investing.
yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
man sit down there, just drawing the money, and the sports is dwindling down. How you can be
Right.
Yeah.
in a job for 15 years plus as a
Yeah, that's
sports
crazy.
coordinator of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
island, and sports is going down, and you still have that job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do the
What you have to
schools?
show for it? 15 plus years you're gonna,
Yeah.
it doesn't make no sense.
that's
And then
crazy.
you have the people that are in those positions have no sporting background or no sporting experience, like our minister of sports for the
Yeah.
past how many years? How
Right.
many years it's been people that has no background in sports
That's what.
at the head of
It's
sports?
usually that way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It
it's
always
just
works
a
out that
little
way.
stepchild.
Yeah. It's like, it's like putting it's like giving a child your business to run and the child has no interest in your business.
Yeah,
All the
Yes.
child is gonna see, well, you know what? I get a check out every time. That's not my
yeah.
business. That's daddy business, right?
Right.
And then
And
drains the
and
business. Like,
and you feel to yourself like that business, even if nothing will happen, doesn't happen, it's okay. You can lose that. You know,
right.
it's a big loss to you. So you can
Yep.
afford to give them that business to play with. If there's
Yeah.
Right.
Kool-Aid, the Kool-Aid, it doesn't matter to you. You
Right.
feel me? That is how sports is bluntly put. It's a business that they don't care about. If it's Kool-Aid, it doesn't matter. We don't really need that.
Right.
But athletes have to know, the athletes, the coaches. I mean, I talking to coaches in St. Lucia, a man telling me, yo, he getting paid $3,000, $4,000 a month for
Right.
coaching, you know. But we have coaches in Dominica, but they've been seeing $1,000 a month, brother.
But
You
that's
know,
Yeah.
crazy. But
you'll see that it's voluntary, a lot of voluntary thing, man. And there's a lot of people. Well, how you gonna get people? And coaching is very important because that's the people that are going to mold and develop your athletes, your young athletes' career. So they
right.
have to be well,
Yes.
you have to be into it, and money motivates. I mean, you can have
Of
all the
course.
passion you want, but
Of course.
how much, how far can you go? You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
eat, you have to think, you have to, you know what I mean? So you have
Yeah.
to know juggle between a job and come and do that on the side. You're never gonna give it your full commitment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it have to be 100%. It is a business. It's not a side thing. Coaching is my profession. I should be able to write on my thing.
Mhm.
Profession, coach.
Yeah.
Profession, um, medic. Profession. That's a profession. It's not
Right.
a thing on the side. When I leave my work, I can go and do that on the side.
Yeah.
Has
That's
to
so
be that.
true. That is so true.
Yeah.
I
Right.
feel like, and this is not to bash, but I like to be honest. You go from having nothing to having so much sports, and now you have a huge stadium, and
Boy, I telling you,
that don't
yesterday,
make sense to me. That's just moving backward.
yesterday I
But
cried that down, brother.
yeah,
I
that's
cried
moving
down
backwards.
yesterday.
But through all that, like you have to deal with that, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
and you still have to deal with the parents.
Yeah.
And I know how some Dominican parents could be. Some could be very supportive, and some could just neglect whatever, right? They don't care. Um, the drive, man, like to deal with, you know, the to deal with the parents and to deal with the even sometimes the kids is not motivated, even though they have the skills, and to deal with the whole way everything is going in Dominica. That How do you get up every day and agree, out? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go there, and this is what I'm gonna do through all these things. Because that's a lot of headache, and then you still have your own kids to deal with, your own kid to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well, what that keeps me going, like I say, is like what you just played there, and knowing that they are out there and they are trying to, like, keep touching base with them and crying out what's the vibes, and you know because
Hmm.
they are going to be, It is like you send that those seeds out there, and they, you're hoping, you want to see them germinate and sprout up and bear fruits, so
Right.
that
Mm-hmm.
people can believe.
Mm-hmm.
So until so that keeps going, like, hey, it's just patience.
Right.
It's patience and perseverance, determination, believe in yourself, believe in the process, trust the
Right.
process, and it's going to happen. I mean, and I always enjoy, I don't know, my mother raised me, always give me crossword puzzle and things. I like to solve problem. I
Right.
enjoy
Mm-hmm.
finding solutions, and,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's fun
yeah,
for me. So I actually enjoy doing things like that, and
yeah,
so it's a passion for me. That's why I like you say, you can see the passion in it. I enjoy it, like I love the challenge,
Right.
but
mm-hmm.
I also believe that it's going to work, because
Right.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
the path is right there.
yeah. Well, both of those students said that one of your messages, or a, obviously it was a great message, never give up. And that's Maggie. Never
Yeah,
give
man.
up. And I would say to you as well, don't give up,
Yeah,
because
man.
Yep.
it'll
We're
get
gonna do
there
it.
soon, you know? It will get there.
Yeah, man, it's Jah works. It's Jah works. You can't stop doing Jah works. You have to show. That's how you're going to show Jah you appreciate the life he give you by doing
Yeah,
his works,
Yeah. Give him
giving
back,
back.
of course. Facts.
yeah,
It is everyone. Okay, I know. Big up Oyo on the outside one time, and
Yeah, man.
everybody around you right now.
Sure.
But do you find the people around you, like, I mean, like, besides your team, do you find the people around you is like motivated by you, or do you get like some type of energy from them, like
Well, most of them just watch me like I'm mad. They just like, Mr. Mad fella, man.
Oh,
Every
that's a
day.
good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. No,
Every
no,
day.
that's a good
A man, I'm passing over ball, I'm at balls and things. So every day, just so,
thing.
and
mm-hmm.
not to say it's a work, you're getting paid. Everybody feel like, So enough people that watch me like I'm mad, but what has motivated me is to say to myself, like, people fought, people like Noah, them great man Moses, all those people that was mad people
Yeah,
too.
yeah, man, they mad, yeah, man.
So myself, it's okay. I call
Of
me
course.
mad. I feel I appreciate that.
Hey, you
So
have to
that
be,
keeps me motivated. That
of
means I'm on the
course.
right track.
Yeah,
But it's only
Yeah,
mad people who come up with the greatest things.
that's right.
it's
Like,
so true.
look the
So
light we're using.
I feel
Who in the
flattered and
normal
honored
mind
when
would just sit,
somebody call me mad.
right? Who in the normal mind would just sit and think, I'm gonna invent a light
Mm-hmm.
bulb. You have to be a madman.
That man is stepping outside the box. I
You know what
stepping
I mean?
outside the
So
light and stay in the box. I mash
Yeah,
up the box.
that is a good thing. So
Yeah, man.
I don't know. We spoke about the diasporas getting involved and helping.
Yeah. I want to
Whether
big up.
it's
I want to mention somebody in Canada. Some two people in Canada. Is
mhm.
Terry and Trevor Bertrand involved in the
Yes,
football vibe, soccer vibe.
yes, yes.
Them is two we're looking forward to they have a nice program going up so
Okay, yeah.
really looking forward to them help pulling up some of our youths. We did a video, set up, with some of the youths for them to send some video footage for them to look at, to
Okay,
see if
yeah.
we can
Training videos.
bring a couple of them youths up for the summer in the program to get
Right,
that
mm-hmm.
feel out there, like she said, we
right,
just send some more youths up in Canada for the
Yeah,
summer
yeah,
in those program to mix up with the Canadian players and whatnot. And you never
right.
know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
know they have the ability. Trust me, we have some players here like Mr. Bills.
mm-hmm.
We have Angel. I have to beat them up. I know they're watching. We
Right,
have Chance Marshall, Elvon John, and the rest of them, JB and all of them. We have some
mm-hmm.
good youths on them that are met basketball players. We have Joshua, you know, Paul and them, AJ.
Right,
So all these youths and them, we have a whole lot of raw talent, and we just need opportunity for them. And calling out to all the people and them out there in the diaspora, in England, New York, Miami, Houston, Canada. You see a little program around you, reach out to us, see how we can pull one, even if it's just one athlete,
right,
one, tell us what we're looking for,
yeah.
and let's get that happening. One, and we can get
right.
a lot done.
And
Well,
that
there was a question there. What do you think needs to be done to elevate the sports in Dominica? So you're reaching out to the people, you're asking them for something. But what exactly is it that you're asking? Tell us what you're asking of these people to do to help you elevate the sports in Dominica?
Yeah, well, like what I just said is, help us to, like you out there in the US, see if you can find like,
Yeah,
institution, colleges, high schools,
right.
programs where they develop young athletes,
Mm-hmm.
to go to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can get some of our athletes out there, to come up
And
into these institutions so they can develop themselves and see if they
Okay.
can make it to the next
right.
level.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
also putting
those are
on,
easy. Those
Yeah.
those are easy way to help. I mean, it's not
yeah,
financial. You walk by, you see a
right,
flyer,
Yeah.
pick it
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
type of thing, right? Or you're on the internet, So, um, yeah, man, definitely. Help out the vibes, you know what I mean? We have a lot. It's not just Dominica. Like we said, Saint Lucia, and Saint Lucia is they built their whole thing. You know what I mean? So they could actually train their artists, their athletes. Um, in Dominica, we don't have that, and there's other islands that that maybe don't have that as well. But
and it's not hard to do.
no, it's
Everything
not.
for it is right there.
Hmm.
Everything for it is right there. It's just the willingness and the mindset to get it done. The people
Right.
that look at things as boy that looking difficult because they're watching the whole thing. But
Yeah.
you're watching the foundation and the steps and how you
Yes.
can, the
Yes.
ways you can go about it. You check it.
Yes.
Like I was talking to the guy and the guy was telling me, explaining to me. When he explained to me and he told me about the school part, but from grade 6, they scouting them and they
Hmm.
have to. So basically, you in that institution, like you're in a high school. So you have to have the whole faculty of teachers for that. I say, boy, that's something, that'll make you hold your head. But then I say, you know what we
Yeah.
can do? We can simplify it. We can also simplify it. We can do a scale long version where we can allow them to go to school, to the whatever school they want, SMA grammar school, whatever school,
Right.
and then but they live in the institution. So
Hmm.
you come there, you wake up in the morning, you do your training session, you
Mm.
7 o'clock
Go
you
to
bathe,
school.
you eat breakfast,
Right.
you with the right nutrition they feed you, and then you
Right.
go to school. You go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
school. After school, you come home to the institution, and you have people there to give you a lunch, your right nutrition, and then you have a tutor there to make sure you check your work and things. So make sure and
Yeah.
then you go to train and so on, and
Yeah.
nighttime
Yeah.
dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Build you
So
up.
that
Yeah.
way you eliminate the school and all that all the teachers and all that thing. That can,
Yeah.
so if you eliminate that piece of it, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You check it,
Yeah.
more
Yep.
manageable. So
Definitely.
we can do it, and you know what I mean. And I hope people watching, looking at it out there, reach out and let's get it done. I already have a meeting with the guys from St. Lucia.
Right.
In next week I'm gonna have a meeting with them, and I spoke to a couple of my guys putting a team together so we can
Right.
meet with them and we can discuss. And they even telling me they would like to come to Dominica to
And
assist
see.
us to
Yeah.
get it
Nice.
going. They're
Nice.
willing to do that.
Right. And
So I
it
mean, come on,
you
why
know
we
it
waiting for?
starts at home. Parents motivate your kids. You know what I mean? Whether it's they running, whether they kicking football, whether they bouncing a basketball, motivate the kids. It does not cost a lot to it doesn't cost anything to motivate your kids. So, motivate the kids, put them in the right program. It's better than them finishing high school and looking at you like, what next, mom? What am I gonna do? Right?
Yeah,
So
man.
Yeah.
definitely motivate the kids. Um, my last question to you, it's well, what what is your goal for the rest of the year? Like I know your big goal is to, open the doors for Dominica and get these athletes in the right positions. What's your goal for, let's say we in what? We in February?
Yeah.
December.
December, my goal. You see that sports academy I'm talking about there?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just one sport, you're going to start with. That's a goal I want to see achieved, and it's
Right.
attainable. Even if it's just a basketball team,
Right.
sort of basketballers or footballers, but we're gonna get it. I seen it very attainable. Once
Right.
man's willing to sit down and listen and thrash it out, we can get it
Right.
done. That's one of them. And another thing is for the our sports program, 767 sports club, sports movement,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is to structure it have it in a more structured way
Right.
that
Mhm.
we can actually have coaches, getting a stipend, getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
and have it, more organized. Right now, it's just myself and I have somebody older youths assisting me,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
the parents, I
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have it, want to have it where there are actual coaches, who are trained, and so we
Right.
can have a program in place, and that's another goal. Uh, so that's two goals, and
Yeah.
these two might be two in one.
Right.
Right. By the end of the year. All right.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure if you're about my age and you grew up in Dominica, if you're still in Dominica, you guys remember what sports is like. You know what I mean? Hey, do something about it. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
Join Maggie on the team and get this thing moving. Because I would like to come back there and watch some sports. You know what I mean?
Definitely, brother. Yeah, man. Sports tourism is huge, Rasta.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Man.
So,
So our nice our nice environment, our nice terrain. You also have
yep.
some nice cycling. You also have some using them hiking trails to have
Yes.
some
Yes. Yes.
ultimate challenges where people can come up from all over the world, Australia, Africa, all about to come and run our big mountains and see,
Yes.
and have that
Nice.
so people can see Dominica and enjoy the entertainment and still see the nice beautiful sceneries and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I want to come, just you advertising in that way. I want to just, I
Yeah, you can
just
do
want to
that.
come just to see it.
Don't
I'm
worry.
not
You
running
can
up
do
any
it.
hills though.
Somebody's waiting for you in
You have to
November to
study
come
more
down.
like that.
Remember?
I don't make some man. To see the beauty, you must beauty doesn't come easy like that. You have to climb some mountains to see the real beauty.
Yeah. But Maggie, it was nice again, man. By God's graces, we'll see in the future. Right back here on Dissect. Maybe we'll see face to face before we see back on Dissect. But what I mean, we definitely want to have you with us. If not later on in the season, but next season, because we have some unfinished discussion from last week.
Yeah, man, ready, always available.
You know what I
The truth
mean?
of the vibes have to flow.
Right. So,
Yeah, man.
we just want to thank you for coming on. If there's any way of the people out there contacting you, let us know. And yeah, go ahead and put out their
Yes.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
whatever
Seven six
connection.
seven 76 number is 767-285-4070. 767-285-4070. And yeah, check out my Facebook page, Dunstan Maggie Peters, or 767 Sports Club. I mean, and we looking to have some going a membership drive where you know you can join the club. You don't have to have a youth going there, but you can make a contribution of about $50 a month. And when we have our merchandise, you can get the discount. You can get that shipped to you, wherever you are. We can, do we need to get funding in place so we can get more equipment, get more stuff, so we can develop more youths and let all the youths and them have the right stuff they need so they can get that right development.
Nice.
It's great.
All right, so there you guys had it. Another episode of Dissect. Uh, thank you, the man. Thanks to the man Maggie Peters, Dustin Maggie Peters. I don't like I like to call her the Dustin part, but anyway,
You can't pronounce it. It have an N, my boy. Not Dos, it's Dunstan.
Dunstan. You know what I
Dunstan.
mean?
Yes,
But you see, coming from Newton, just like you, we never call you Dunstan.
Dunstan.
yeah, Maggie. Strict
It's
Maggie.
Maggie,
Yeah,
straight
Maggie,
Maggie.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, my
Yeah.
brother. Thank you for spending the time with us, and we'll
My
definitely
pleasure, brother.
make this happen again. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take
man. It's a
care.
pleasure. Yes, I.
Yeah, man.
One love.
And of course, it's been another nice episode of Dissect. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Chris,
I sure
Joel, I
did.
hope you enjoyed it. Educational information.
Yeah, for
Nice.
sure I did. Always a pleasure having Maggie on the show. He is a wealth of knowledge and definitely a staple in the Dominican culture and love it.
Yeah, I love the drive too.
Hmm.
Stay tuned for the video for our next guest next week on Dissect. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a blessed week, and next week 7 p.m. right here, 8 p.m. if you're in the Caribbean or somewhere in that side of the world. All right. I am Novelist,
And I'm Jewel.
and we'll see you guys next week. Godspeed.
Take care.
Hey yo, this is your Island Empress Abia Yisrael inviting you to join me Saturday 19th February on Dissect 8 p.m. sharp local time. Protect our minds against this system. We got to guard our African children. See you there.
Hello, TLC family. It's your friendly neighborhood car brothers, John and Dalton, or Dalton and John. And we're here to do an oil change on my vehicle. Now, I know a lot of you will not take on a project like this because most people don't know what to do with an oil change. The reason I do this is because for two reasons: I can control the quality of the oil and I can keep the cost down. Now, some of you out there, roughly about the time close to winter, you'll see $19.99 specials being offered for oil changes and this and that. I personally will never take advantage of those because there's no way that oil is synthetic oil. There's two types of oils. There's standard oil and there's synthetic oil. Synthetic oil is the best oil for your engine, but it's very expensive. So there's no way you can get 4 to 5 liters of oil put into your car with the filter and the labor of time for $19.99. So if they tell you that's synthetic oil, they are lying. So I control the quality of the oil by purchasing my oil at sale when it's on sale at Canadian Tire. And I can do the labor myself, so I control what's done to the car. A lot of times these guys, they don't change the filters. They put new oil in, but they don't change the filter. And secondly, they strip the nut, and John will tell you a story about that. They strip your oil plug nut. So this way I can control the quality of the work, the quality of the oil, and the peace of mind that I know that I put the right oil in, I put the right amount, and I tightened up that nut properly. And also I just like tinkering with my car. So if you are one of those people that like to do things yourself, we're going to give you some tips on how to do that, and at a very cost effectively. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, just that I don't do my oil changes myself, but I had the same place doing my oil changes, and they did strip the nut, and I said, well, you guys are the only guys that touched it, so you got to give me a freebie, and they did.
Okay, folks, so to do your own oil change, you're going to need some tools. First of all, you're going to need your oil, and I would suggest, I don't care what brand you choose, but I would suggest that you could look for what says full synthetic. If it's not synthetic, you don't want it in your engine. Okay, so look for a brand that says right there, advanced or synthetic or full synthetic, because there are different types of synthetic oils that are not 100% synthetic or synthetic blend. You don't want that. You want a full synthetic. And you also need to know how much oil your car will take inside the engine. How you find that out is by looking in your owner's manual. It'll tell you at the back somewhere in the specs what your motor needs as far as how much oil. For my particular motor, it requires 5.7 liters, so I purchased 4.73 here, and 1 liter here that accounts for 5 liters. You will also need a dolly to get yourself in and out from under the car with ease. You need a funnel to funnel the oil into the engine. You need a filter. I would suggest you go with a good brand. The best brand for filters is Fram, right? Pay the money up front now so you don't have to pay later.
Yeah.
And you need a ratchet set to undo your oil plug, as well as this is for optional. Sometimes to remove the filter it gets a little tough, so you need something like this. And this is just another type of tool for pulling your filter. This is optional if your filter is mounted sideways on your engine. This is an easy tool to pull it if it's that way. Or if it's in a tight place where you can't get a ratchet, this is the kind of tool that will do that. And also, you need a dirty rag to clean your hand and that kind of stuff. And you need something, oil reservoir here to catch all the dirty oil that's coming out so that you don't send it into the sewer system or all over your driveway. So these are all the tools that you will need. And if I've missed anything out, I'll mention it later on. All right, folks, so now I'm just gonna open the engine and check the quality of my oil to see how dirty it is. Obviously, you should have done this before to know that you need an oil change. My car has a computer that monitors and tell me when it's time to change the oil, but there's a good way to tell you, or just by sight, to show you if your oil is dirty. If it's black and not brown or not honey colored, then it's time to change your oil. So now we're just gonna lift the hood and take a look at the color of the oil. So how we do that, for my car, your car obviously will be different, but for my car, the hood release latch is right there. You do that, and that releases the hood. Now you gotta go around to the front. There's a safety lever that even if the hood release latch is open, there's still another latch. It's a finger latch here that you have to push sideways to release it. So it's usually the center line of the cars there. It's always off about 1.5 inches. You push it to the sideways, and there you go. Your hood, it's this little latch right here. So you see that safety hook? It catches onto this. So even after you pull the latch, this hook here, this little hook, will keep your hood from flying off if you're on the highway or you accidentally somebody, I don't know how you do it, but things happen. Okay, so inside your engine, this is your oil dipstick. Do not mistake it for your transmission dipstick, which has a lock on it. I'll show you there's a different thing. This is your oil dipstick. You want to pull that out. It's kind of hard to pull out because they make it so that it doesn't fly out by itself, because you'll lose pressure if it pops out by itself. And you pull it out, and you want to look. So now we're going to check the oil by looking at the color to see how much soot has collected inside your oil. If you look there, this oil is still pretty good. We could probably get another couple thousand kilometers out of it because it's still honey brown, right?
Right.
Another thing you will notice is there are a bunch of holes. 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in there. Each hole represents 1 liter of oil. So on this side, you'll see a hash pattern right there like that. On most cars, that hash pattern only goes for 2. So on this car, it shows you anytime your oil, the range that you want the oil in is between this line here and that one. Each one of these represents 1 liter. So if you open the hood and you see your oil line marked there, that means you need to put 2 liters in to put your car back to the normal operating amount of oil that you need in the engine. So based on this oil is still good. It could run for another couple thousand kilometers, but the computer in the car says it's time to change it. So I'm not gonna argue. Winter's coming, I don't wanna be doing this in winter. So now we're gonna go underneath the car and we're gonna find that drain plug. We're gonna pull that drain plug and drain the car, and then we'll show you, but once again up top here, we're gonna fill the engine up with the required amount of oil and then get it down off the jacks and all that. So let's go. So this is the oil drain plug for my car. Unfortunately, GM has decided to put it on the side like that. So because of the pressure in the engine, when I pull this plug out, all the oil is going to squirt that way. So I have to make sure this is set up just right to catch it. I'm also going to use this to deflect the oil downward into the plug, into the collector here. So here we go. Oh, and also, whenever you're under the car, make sure you have protective glasses on, protect your eyes from dust and things that could fall in your eye and cause a lot of stress to you.
Hey, gravity teaches us things fall down, right? That's true.
That's
Anytime
right.
you're under something, you're looking up, something falls right in your eye.
That's right. So with this, once you've broken the connect, you can undo it by hand because this is well lubricated, so it's not difficult to undo. Towards the end, you want to be careful it doesn't fall into the bucket because you'd have to fish it out with your hands, which are then going to get covered with oil. Also, as you can see, I'm wearing gloves. So,
How long ago did you run this vehicle, Dalton? So is the oil going to be warm slightly?
it's slightly warm, but I only ran it this morning for about 15 minutes.
So it's not going to be hot.
No, you don't want to do this when the engine's hot,
Right,
because this oil is over 300 degrees when the engine's hot.
right.
So, there you go. So the next thing after this, we're gonna have to remove the filter. That's gonna require me getting out and getting the filter, the replacement filter, and also the filter removal tool. The reason I have this dirty, filthy rag here is so I can wipe the grease off. As you can see, some of it got on my gloves. So that's done. So what we're gonna need now is our new filter. And this is a Fram filter. And this filter, before you put it on, you get a little bit of that grease and you grease this rubber seal up, because it allows you to put it on without too much effort. Also, this is our filter tool. It fits at the back right here like that. And we're gonna put the socket guide in here, and that will take the one off that's under there first and let it drain out inside the collector, and then we'll put this one on. What you do is you lubricate this seal up and you hand tighten it, and then give it maybe 1 1/4 turn to lock it in place. You don't want to put it on too tightly, because then they become really difficult to remove. Folks, so as I told you before, we're gonna just get a little bit of grease and lubricate this rubber seal. Okay, now that we've done that, that's almost done draining. So what I'm gonna do, just so you do, whenever you're doing repairs on the car, you always do a 1, 2, 3. Whatever you remove, you replace. So let's replace this. So again, because of how well lubricated this area is, because of the oil, it doesn't require much to tighten it, to put it in, and then grab your socket, change your rotation, your direction of rotation, put it on there, and tighten it up. Give it a nice secure set. Okay, that won't leak. I want to get that. There we are. So now we want to move to this location. You guys probably won't be able to see this, but that's where the filter is. So we're going to take this one out. Throw it out there. Put this there. Okay, so we've undone the filter. Now there's usually about half a liter of oil inside the filter too. So we have to change where our bucket is, catch it. And this one is not going to be pretty. There she is, starting to leak out. Okay. You don't want this to drop inside of this bucket. First thing it's going to do is splash this oil. You don't want to get this stuff in your eye. Here we go. Got it. That's fine. Okay. So now that we've got that off, let's clean this hand up. And we got to get this one off. back on. So I'm gonna need the tool from the bottom of that John.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so here you go. Can you grab use that thing?
I'll pull it out. Yeah, this is gonna help you put the next one on, isn't it?
Yeah. So right now I'm just hand tightening it. And then John's gonna hand me that tool. Just gotta give this 1/4 turn to lock it in place. Okay, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that's it. We're done underneath the car. The engine is empty of oil. We're gonna take these things out and hopefully not make a mess.
John earlier asked a question, and the question was basically what is the difference between synthetic oil and regular oil?
Yeah, but why?
Wouldn't natural oil, because it sounds good, would
Well,
natural
ask
oil be
yourself.
better?
Synthetic, to us who are a little older, meant not natural.
Right.
You know, and so the alternate would be natural. You want the natural product.
Yeah.
My vehicle, which is, you might say, fussy vehicle, it wants a certain thing. It has to have the synthetic oil. And you can't go with a half. There's even half breeds, half synthetic,
Yeah,
half
blended.
not.
You can't.
Blended oil. You can't go with that.
Yeah.
The manual says must be synthetic. So it must be better. I heard it's made from natural gas rather than regular oil. I don't know what it is. Dalton was telling me.
Well, not being a chemist myself, I personally don't know what
I thought
exactly
you were a chemist.
goes into making synthetic oil. However, what I know is synthetic oil, it takes a longer time to break down. It does not absorb as much carbon from the exhaust, from the combustion process that happens inside your engine. So
Right.
your oil will stay clean and look that honey brown color a lot longer than natural oil. Natural oil within 2 weeks will be black sludge. It's disgusting. It gums up your works inside the engine. It gums up your valves, your pistons, all of that. Whereas synthetic oil, because it doesn't break down, the viscosity doesn't break down as quickly, it lasts so much longer. And you just saw what I showed you earlier. When we pulled that dipstick out, the oil,
Still look good.
even though I've been running that oil from spring, basically I changed the oil in, I think maybe February, and we're now in October, right?
So,
And I was running that oil right through the summer, and I've been on many, many long drives, right? But that oil still had that honey brown look to it. So it just
and
shows
it still
you,
was thick.
and it's still, no.
Well,
it still
not thick, but it's still
was
viscous.
fluid. It was still viscous, and it still probably had a few thousand kilometers left to go in there. But because the car says it's time to change it, I don't argue with the car. If it says it needs oil, I put oil in there.
Right.
Right? So natural oil, back in the day, that's what everybody had.
That's all you
And
had.
The only people that used synthetic was professional race car drivers and such. But now synthetic is common, and every car needs synthetic. Even if you have an older car, it'll do better with synthetic oil than it would natural oil.
Right.
Right?
I don't know how many of you have had a car that was so old, when you get in before you start it, you say a little prayer. I literally had cars like that through the years.
Is that car that kept you close to God?
Yeah, the car keeps your prayer life good because you're constantly praying, oh Lord, bless my car. Driving down the highway in the winter and all of a sudden the heat fails.
Yeah.
And you got another hour of road in front of you and it's the winter.
Yeah.
You know, I have prayed right then and just begged God and have it come back and work, you know. I know women, they say, well, they hear a foreign sound in the car and hear, is this a sexist comment? Maybe I should say some people will hear a noise that doesn't belong in the car. Just turn up the radio a little louder and solves the problem. But
You know what?
you should be listening.
And black electrical tape solved most problems in the car. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, so now that we've drained all that oil out of the engine, we need to put the oil back in, right? Because oil is is like blood to a car. No blood in your body, you're in serious trouble. With no oil in this engine, it wouldn't even get 2 kilometers before we destroy the motor. So here we go. So you need a funnel. Doesn't matter which car you have. It's a lot easier to pour oil into an engine with a funnel than without. Right? You don't want to pour oil over your engine because when you start the car up and your manifold heats up, you're going to see a lot of smoke coming out your engine. You're going to panic and think, and it's going to stink up your insides too, inside the car, and you're going to think something's wrong, but that's just because you spilled some oil. So you need a funnel. Now, your funnel usually sits somewhere for somewhere between 3 and 6 months. It's going to get dust, it's going to get all sorts of things inside the funnel. You want to clean that funnel out. These little things you can see here, they could cause clogging and damaging inside your engines as well, especially if it's sand or grit. So you want to wipe that out. Get everything as best as you can and off of this side as well, right? So I tried washing this out earlier, but we had it down here and dust got in there again. So now it's a lot cleaner, hopefully.
Dust wouldn't be as bad as grit.
It's the grit that
You don't want chunk
that
of
because
stone in there.
what it turns to is glass inside the engine and then scars everything up. Now that we've got that clean, so put that there for a minute. Now, I have no loyalty to any oil. I use whatever's on sale at Canadian Tire as long as it says full synthetic. Now for my car, I need, these numbers are important. 5W30, and some cars require, John, require 10W30. This number 5 tells you how thin the oil is. You might say, don't you want oil to be thick? No, because in winter, it doesn't flow well when you start the car. So for that first few minutes before your engine heats up, the oil is going to be like honey inside your engine. So the thinner your oil is, the better it is for your engine. So my car recommended 5W30, and that's what I use. Not 10W30 or whatever, what I feel like. Whatever the car recommends, you use. Now, a good way for you to figure out what your car recommends is GM has been quite kind, and most automakers do this. They put the recommended oil on your oil cap. So, you will see the oil cap right there, and it'll show you. It'll say right there. I don't know if you can see that. 5W30. So that tells me that we're in business. So, what you want to do is put your funnel in here and start with your bigger container first. Why? Because sometimes there might be a little bit of oil left in there. As you can see, my car is on a hoist, so it's angled backwards. So most of the oil will have drained out, but there might be a little bit of oil left in there. So you start with your big container first, so that if there's a little oil left in there, you don't overfill your engine, because underfilling your engine is just as bad as overfilling. You could have blow-by, you could have oil getting in places oil don't need to be, and if you drive a van, you'll see a lot of that on your back windshield when you've overfilled the engine, or on the back of your car all gummed up and stuff. So we'll start with this one first. We'll just pour it in slowly until it's empty, and then we'll add as required. See how easy that is with the funnel?
Yeah.
Gives me a big spot to aim for, so we don't spill any of the oil on the engine.
I remember taking a piece of paper and making a cone out of it and using that for a funnel.
You can do that too, or
It's only good for one use.
what I used to do in the past when I was lazy and didn't know better, I would start with the small jar, the small 1 liter thing first, and I would cut the bottom off.
Oh yeah.
And use it as a funnel because the nose fits
Yeah.
exactly in the hole.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you can screw the thing, and I'll show you,
Oh yeah. You could cut it with a knife.
and just
As long
cut
as
the
you have a
bottom
nice
with the
sharp
knife.
knife.
So we'll just let that drain for a little. So what I used to do, because this part fits exactly there, I would use this one first, and I cut it like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would use this as the
So
funnel.
you'd actually be making a funnel
Yeah.
out of the small container.
So we'll just let that drain for a little bit. So don't discard this because we're gonna need this for the used oil that's come out the motor.
Oh, right. You know, I was wondering what you're going to do with that.
So I know that we're not gonna overfill because my car's on an angle, so I'm just gonna pour the whole thing in there. But if you're parked in a weird position and you think that you might overfill, you pour a little bit in, you start the motor, let it run for a little, let it sit, then check your levels. If it's exactly where it should be, then you're good.
Yeah. No, it's commendable. You could have dumped it right here. Right?
So folks,
Couldn't you? And instead, he's doing the proper thing. He's going to dispose of the oil in the used container and take it to a proper place. And they'll take that, and will they recycle that oil?
That's exactly what they'll do. So
So-
this oil
Doesn't really go to waste then.
we're not gonna throw it out and be environmental pirates like some people. You know, we're gonna take it and leave it at our local repair shop across the street from me, Walmart or Canadian Tire or even Jiffy if you want to, because they'll take that oil and they'll filter it and clean it up and reuse it again and add conditioners and the rest of that.
Do we
Right.
want to buy that old reconditioned oil?
I personally only use synthetic, so I don't know who's gonna use this stuff. But there's industrial applications that you
Sure.
could use this oil.
Sure.
Right?
They could turn it into
So
grease. Or
what
whatever.
I use DMTs is to fill that up with oil, with the old oil, and these stuff I wrap up, like this one here. We're gonna have to bring that to them as well. So
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Well, that's going what you call the second mile, I would say.
So you wrap this bad boy up.
And they'll dispose of it responsibly.
And they'll take care of it for you. So this is where these bags come in. You make sure you put your old filter in there. Your
Now,
old-
you don't need that one, Dalton?
What?
Is all of that going to fit in that
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Oh,
Because all cars burn oil, right?
Sure. So some of the
So,
oil gets
yeah.
used up.
So you should check your oil,
Yeah.
your fluid levels in your car at least once a week. On a Saturday morning, just come out and pull the dipstick and look at it. So at least once a week, you should check your fluid levels. So we're talking coolant. With the coolant, you don't need to check anything. You just need to look at the reservoir and to see the hot. There's two lines, a hot line and the cold line. You should look where it's at on the cold line. As far as your oil, pull the dipstick out, look at the color of the oil, and look where it is between the hash and the dots. And you know, if it's one dot down, then you need to add 1 liter, right? Like, this is something you should get into a habit of doing, because you don't want to be one of those persons decide that they're on a drive coming home from work or something, and the car seizes up and dies because you forgot to check your oil, or your coolant was leaking and you never knew. If you ever smell like a sweet sugary smell once you're inside the car, that tells you that there's coolant leaking inside the engine bay, right? And it's drawing it into the car. If you hear a loud clattering noise like there's marbles running around inside your engine, it means that you're running out of oil and metal parts are hitting each other with no oil in between them, right? So these are things that you know, but you know, if I say it sounds like marble, most people will know what that sound is.
Right. I know that sound because I was a young man driving an old 98 down to Florida with my new family, and I heard this noise, and I thought, what the heck? Let's just turn up the radio a little louder. But when we got all the way down there, I said, well, I better at least check the oil. Well, I pulled the stick out, and Dalton, a jet of steam came out of that.
So pressurized fumes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I looked, there was absolutely no oil on the stick. I was like, holy smokes. But this was back in the day. It was an Olds 98. It was one of these cars that cabbies used to drive, and the rumor was you could abuse this car and it wouldn't matter.
There's a lot of stories about that car.
I got, I think it was an Impala station wagon. Oh no, it was an Olds 98. Whichever, I had both. But anyway, I got the oil in it and took care of it. But come to find out, like you just said, it used oil.
Yeah.
So you can get to know your vehicle and say, hey, In a month's time, my car uses a liter or half a liter of oil. And sometimes with some vehicles, if your vehicle's older, you can top up your oil a little bit if it's not time for an oil change yet.
And it's all cars. It could be a Mercedes, it could be a BMW. All cars burn oil.
I hope that you all enjoyed the video. I'm nursing an injury in my shoulder. I wasn't much help around here. Hopefully I didn't get in the way. But,
You were plenty of help. Plenty of help.
Alrighty.
Whenever you're doing this kind of thing, especially when you're going underneath your car, I don't care in what circumstance it is, you must. I suggest that you always have another adult close by, just in case.
Somebody with a functioning phone, in case the car falls.
Anything can happen.
Hey, you would never do this work under your vehicle with 2 jacks, would you? So, you know, safety measures are taken so that this vehicle, he was under it, they can't fall on him. You know, back in the day, I don't know how many people were crushed working under their vehicle.
Last year, some guy died in his garage.
Right, you jack it up. That's not what's holding this vehicle up. It's on a ramp on both sides, so it's safe. Alrighty.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it down.
Yeah, let's do it. See, get a shot of this. Look. This here is strong enough to hold that big caddy and keep Dalton safe.
Let it run like that for a minute or two so it gets right through. Yeah. The engine. So you'll notice I don't know if you noticed, but you'll notice the sound of the engine changed from when it started till now. So now the wheel has reached the top of the engine. Because that desperate sound it had, what's going on, what's going on? Now it's all
Don't you think
settled out.
that's just a psychological thing that's going on in your own head? Because now you know it's got clean oil in it, you feel all warm and fuzzy?
Yeah.
Well, I think so.
Okay folks, so now that we've changed the oil, we brought the car down, now the engine's nice and level. We started it up, got the oil running through the motor, we let it sit for about a minute or two to let the oil drain back down into the pan. Now we're gonna check and see what that looks like. So, as you can see, oil is nice and clean. Let's clean that up and try lipstick again. There we are. We're full right at the top, and the oil is nice and clean, and we're good. So we can call this one done.
Good job, Dalton.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
to a time you should be living in now, if you want to have this slightest chance of survival. Because where we are today, thinking that the past is nothing, yes, it is the past that has shaped us, and the people of the past who have made us what we are. Yes, we walk on the shoulders of those who have gone before us. Look at you. Listen to yourself. Check out your actions. Well, before you get too comfortable with your modern conveniences, you must first understand that it's all started somewhere. I take in all of you back to the 19th century to show you just how we used to do what you're doing now. To better understand the challenges of today. To better appreciate the works of our champion fighters. To get the answers to our many unanswered questions. To be able to survive in this present economic jungle, there is only one way, the way of the past. Think. Allow your mind to stray. Now, ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I really? Well, here's your story. Come back to hear your story. I'm taking you back in time to hear your story. I, Baba Oro, who did not sometimes call, or Jupiter, I tell you, I have the power to do anything.
beyond the concept of this thing. I have plotted as I caution. That will depend on the weather. Over the next few days, if it remains as dry as it is, and next few days, we must press cautiously to ensure that everything is in place. What are you talking about, Jaco? We will begin a series of bushfires all around. I have a better plan. So I can and ask. I think the help we should get from the fire will create a better opportunity for more of us to escape instead of you. I tell you, I don't have something to work on. What is this? I will tell you when we meet again. Bala, be careful, Bala. Bala! Bala! Bala's action should be a problem for our escape. Jaco, leave him. He make up his mind. I hope he makes it. He will. What made him cause so with you? But let us ask. Because of our ancestors, to protect us from the planters who killed Juba, Charlotte, Mabuya, and Congolese, while attempting to escape. If you see what they do to the others that try to escape, why you want us to do the same? Are we not them? And even if we stay here, they will eventually kill us all. Jaco, maybe we should go a little longer. No. The longer we wait, the worse things become. But how on earth you expect us to escape now that Bala messed up things? Very easy, Pastor. Very easy. What are you up to? Let us go. But Joby, what to do now? We don't do nothing, so let's call us, so we have to go. What is all this talking about? We coming up. Now, all of you, including Jaco. We come in. Hurry up! We come in. I come in. Oh, see, you're back. Anything suspicious up here? We aren't there to touch the wall with you. They needed some help. Keep your eyes on me. Ewa, let me move. How are you there? I'm in that man. I need that Jacob. Come. Enough, sir. Come, follow me. Stand on my horse. Yes, sir. You there. Where are you going? Back over yonder, sir. Pity Jack instructed us to do so. The carcasses of a few animals needed to be moved before first light. And these will take care of that. Yes, but you, who are you? I belong to His Royal Majesty's Special Battalion in lieu of my allegiance to the principles and virtues of her Special Command Forces here on the colony of Dominica. I don't believe I've seen you before. Governor, sir, it's getting late. May we proceed? The horse is ready, sir. All right, then, carry on. But be sure that you report back here to me when you're... Yes, sir. Right after. Zombie, Saru, Marcel, you them. Right behind there is a little track that leads to a ravine. There, jump the ravine and go left until you meet a big stone. After that, climb the mound and walk on the edge of the cliff down to the sea. Swim across the big rock in the sea and meet me on the point by the estate. And going the other way. We will meet in 6 hours. Then we will take off. Go on. There. Gentlemen of the council, the reiterated complaints which I have received following the escape today invite me to propose to you a grant of general pardon and amnesty for all those slaves who shall willingly return to their masters. The masters, in their turn, shall receive the said slaves without inflicting any punishment upon them. Gentlemen, I submit to your opinion and knowledge of the country in this matter. On the other hand, I will with eagerness subscribe to any additional measures, however harsh, you deem necessary to deal with the runaways, to decrease their numbers, and to prevent this defamation in this country. We are particularly concerned with Jackal, Pascal, Bala, and Tutu, all who have gone missing today. I say we kill them all! Good. You fine men of the council shall build a regiment of soldiers to get the best and most loyal men available. Clearly explain to them what their mission is. Also, recruit a few loyal blacks among the legionnaires, about 500 strong or more. Get the troops ready in no more than a day or two. These are my orders. Gentlemen,
You mean amnesty for those who return? Who told them amnesty? Not themselves. Those guys were too organized for that. They had begun a new life up in the hills under several maroon kings. Among the leaders in the south were Bala, Zombie, Jupiter, Cicero, and Horn. And Jaco, Glory, Greg, and Sandy ran things in the Layu Valley camp in the center of the island. Just above Qualio, there was another camp too, and Pastel was the chief there. The few women who ruled the men and sheep were also determined to fight it out till the end. Calypso, Angelique, Mary Rose, Tranquil, and Victorine. Yes, they too were up in the hills. Mostly all the runaways were assisted by Jacob, who let find them up there, where he would become the overall chief. Taco is here.
who's next, my lord? Listen. Welcome to the gathering of the warrior leaders. We must never again be under the shackles of slavery. We were born to be free. We were born unto kings and queens, prince and princesses. Being a slave for a king or a queen? No, Jacob. Being a slave, a prince or a princess? No, Jacob. Well then, let us never ever return to slavery. Let us stick together to secure the future. Let us fight if we have to. And if we must die, then let it be for a just cause. For I rather die than return to the pale-faced coward. Let the bush become our home. Let our children and our children's children know that we did play our part.
But Jaco, all that is easy to say, but what if them rangers come and capture us again?
No time to be weak. We must look back.
But what if we can't take care of ourselves up there?
No time to be doubtful. No place for cowards. No one will stop our mission. Soldier, come on. Let us celebrate our freedom with the music and dance of our forefathers. Come on, Toby. Back. Beat the drum. The rest of us. Come, let us dance. We will all meet here. 2 days after next full moon. Then we should begin to coordinate our action. But why can't I, as the leader of my own camp, conduct my own way? Bala. It's a fact. As leaders of our own camp, we will be as a pleasant thing to be lacking. But together, we will be a force to be reckoned with. All honor to Jacko. And please, Jacko. Yes, Jacko. May you walk the road of the gods of storm. The gods have spoken to me. Bala, you must never misrepresent the spirit of our ancestors.
Jacko's right. Never misrepresent the spirit.
It is the same spirit of my ancestors that has led me to the Rosary Heights to avenge the death of my people.
Bala, that make a little sense, you know, because the white man and them.
Never.
We over there with guns, no matter.
I will unleash my havoc on the white man, and then you will know who is the true champion among us.
Why do you want to do that?
Why? Why?
Why do you want to kill those people?
You know how many of us that died before we reach where we now. I understand. But we cannot just rush. We must plan our strategy. I will kill every white man if I have to. Beginning the Rosary estate. Bala, lay we start together. Get strength in unity. Let us just stay up here a little longer. Jaco, then we'll make our next move. Is either you going with me or I going alone? Bala, you are young and hasty, Bala. This thing could be trouble, Bala. Trouble for those white men. Bala, I older than you, and I can see much more than you can see. Can you see the end of the hills over there? Nobody can see it. Bala, eyesight is not vision. Because you could see and still be blind. Strong like my father. He was smart as you. Maybe he was smart. Then why are you so bad? I just fighting for my rights. Bala, I have a plan that can free all our people. I have what? It will take a little time. That can destroy the Rosary estate. And it can take any time. What will that benefit you? How will that help us? It's only trouble that will come out of that. Trouble? For who? Bala, I can see you make up your mind. But your move can mess up things for us up here. I am leaving for today. Tomorrow we'll take care of it then. Yeah, maybe that's tomorrow. But you must want it, Bala. That's good. Your choice, Bala. Echo telling you, the spirit of the great warrior goes to you.
Bala was old to settle a score, and he couldn't even wait to get back to the house. The boy decided to launch his attack on the Rosary estate. Jacko knew what he was up to and tried to warn him for the final time. I myself, I don't know, but that Rosary attack was the beginning of problems for those mad Mawa gentlemen. But Bala was too blind to see, and he was too busy to listen.
All my troops, at last, I will be boss of this place. And then, my son, we are going flattening the Rosary estate, and this is how we will do it. How do you feel good about that? Your bid is either you with me or you with them. I with you, Bala. I with you. We are on the westward coast of the island. And you know yours. Rosary estate is our attack. Come, the big tree. Block the ship a little, and then we move. What do we do in the meantime? When do we leave? We move right now. Right now.
Your husband, even if all the gods would come down and plead to Bala, he would not bow. He was only interested in destroying the white settlement, even if it did mean losing his life. Why? Let's be clear first. So Bala and his boys could go ahead with their plan.
Let us wait for night to fall asleep. I agree. No. We are losing this now. Right now. What is the plan? Where the weapons? We have no cannons. We have no gunpowder. But we have stones. Pile them up on the cliff over there and tie them with vines, lianes. And when the soldiers march under, you cut the vine, let it roll down and kill all of them. Yes, Bala, we are on our way. We are doing that and we are moving out. No.
Wait. Boy, I wish somebody would warn Bala. But he would never listen. It was his destiny. And here is how it happened.
And if anyone tries to stop you, move him down. Your friend Bala behind it. No, there's no right. Bala, I don't feel good about that. Too easy, Bala. We have been here for 2 days. Now it's time for us to move out. Finish the job and let's move out.
I was trying to tell all you that attack on Rosalie was swift and successful. And when the news of that attack hit them in Rosa, yes, in the capital, I tell you, it hit them hard.
Boys in your court, then, John. Alex, we must get them. We must be firm.
John, we must take action.
We must rid the country of these vermin.
We can't.
will organize the legionnaires and the rangers to follow their trail. We will kill them, capture them, punish them, while we will kill them first if we have to, and punish them after.
Don't stand around.
The party is over now. Let the war begin.
Kill Bala. Kill Maroon. Kill Bala.
No. You must not kill Bala. Bring him back here to me alive. Whatever you do, you must find him. If you cannot find him, do not bother to return him.
Somebody must warn Bala. That night was the beginning of the end of peace in those Nedmawa settlements. I tell you, running away was bad enough, but attacking them people, when that was just too much. Going from Jaco Flat to Monegmawa, all around the fresh water lake, even across to Rosalie, and stretching on the other side to Loda, where the Legion camp was situated. It was anarchy and panic. The legions and volunteers followed the maroon trail back up to the hills, giving the maroons little place to hide. Yes, the hunt was on, and Bala was the main threat.
Someday, Bala, things will be better. We will be free one day. You, or son, and I will be happy. Come. See how he grows.
Someday, but when?
I'm so tired. Come sit. Talk to me.
Angel, I am glad that you are here. You really help my warrior spirit rest.
And it should rest from no one, Bala. Let your spirit rest.
I will try.
Oh, Bala. Come. Hold me. Squeeze me. Talk to me. Let's make another child. A girl this time.
Not yet. Our Tiga soul is still young.
But I'm ready. And you never know what the future holds.
I know. I will live forever. And even if I die, I will still live.
You frighten me, Bala. You know how much I love you.
I love you too, Angel. That is why I will always be here. Forever.
Bala.
Angelic, soon slavery will be over and our people will be truly free. Laibe Jojo Abawala Uku Ero. Soon my people will be free.
But I feel free right here in your strong arms.
We will once again be in charge of our destiny. We will.
Bala.
Angel, it is almost my turn to look out for the Rangers. And you need to rest. I love you, Angel.
Go, Bala. Esepele, I love you, Bala.
That's all.
Bala. Take this. It will protect you. My family had it for 5 generations. Now it will protect our family. The Boboa. What is that? Hey, move! That is danger!
What is happening there?
Balaron, that is trouble.
Nonsense! Kill him! Shoot him down!
Surrender.
Surrender! Never!
Hands up! Balaron, kill us and surrender! Surrender!
Never surrender! Oh, my shame you are! Oh, no! This is Africa all over again! But by doing this, you shall bring me greater glory. Shut him up! Some more! Round them up! Take him down and finish him up! Cut off my head! Oh! Cut off my head! So that this morning I can get sunlight. You may feel me. As I am tested, you accept my spirit. And the heavens will accept my glory. You coward! Bobby Tobalaya! Cut off your head! Too easy!
Where are you taking us?
Down Toronto! Why? They're waiting on you there! Cut off my head! Or leave me here to die! No! Let him go! Take him down! Drag him if you have to! No! We'll carry him! No! No! I will walk! I will walk! African warrior! I will walk! Where's my Jesus?
All right, bring in the captain. Bring him in, put them out. Your Honor, good fortune has given us possession of the principal runaway chief, Bala. Many of his followers have either been killed or have been captured. The rest are greatly dispersed and distressed. Bala, however, would not suffer himself to be taken until so severely wounded that he could not breathe. The behavior of this deluded wretch at his capture proved him as hardened as previous conduct had done. He refused to answer almost any question that we put to him, although perfectly in his senses. He repeatedly called upon his captors to cut off his head, telling them that they might do so, but Bala would not die. His opiate arm and his child were the only things he expressed much anxiety about. The former he wished to bury. The latter, a boy of about 5, he bid to remember the lackeys of the white man who had fought his father.
Thank you, John. Now who shot the brother?
Peter!
Me! Thank you. Prepare for him the payment of 33 pounds.
Very good. Now, Your Honor, I believe we have some housekeeping matters to take care of.
Yes, but John, do we really have to now?
I think we should.
All right. For the purpose of this hearing, the court will allow the blacks to testify for themselves and God forbid only us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
own testimony as a